Hi, today we are looking at Uncanny X-Men issue 3, and it is written by Gail Simone, drawn by David Marquez, and colored by Matthew Wilson. Full spoilers ahead, so you're forewarned. So this is basically an introduction to the new kids and their origins. We get to know them a little bit more, and all of them have a pretty sad and some of them downright tragic backstory. Hi, Future Tyler here. Before we get to the meat of the story, I love the shade that Rogue threw at Mystique in the beginning of this issue. Also, when you first read the issue, Rogue said we are all mourning. You took that as she was referring to Harvey X. But on the reread, I believe she's actually referring to the loss of Krakoa, since the thought immediately before that was that they are all orphans. I also love that Logan claimed he was making sure the kids are not up to something bad, only to quickly revert to not having the heart to move a girl sleeping in a barn. I mean, regarding Harvey X, I think it is important to remember the words of a precog, exactly as said. In this case, he said one of them is the endling. So one of them is the last surviving member of his or her species, but it is not clear which species Harvey X is referring to. Is it regarding mutant kind, like Logan assumed, or is it something else? I mean, is Harvey X referring to Amber, perhaps, or some other heritage of Becca, given that we are assuming she has some relationship to the hag? I mean, we shall see. Anyway, this is the second time we get a reference that things are not okay with Logan, with a little bit more details. He said he's feeling wow inside, and he left, not wanting to hurt the people he loves. Now, given that we know Wolverine is going to be in several books, including his own and a Deadpool Wolverine ongoing series, I'm hoping that this is just Gil handing him over to Ahmed and Percy. But bring him back occasionally when needed. I really do not like having Wolverine in everything everywhere all at once. Regardless, I think Gil nailed the interaction between Rogue and Logan, even though the moonbeam thing came out of nowhere. We also get a lot more, well, maybe not a lot, a bit more of like Sarah and the Hag, a last name, and as well as a bit of Charles. I mean, she's hunting the kids for some reason. So, you know, now, I mean, as much as Dr. Alice had spewed hatred over the past two issues, her scene in this issue seems to imply that she's not simply out to kill them. Also, Sparky, the missing dog, is supposed to be green. I mean, if you know, you know. Okay, did Logan build the danger room overnight for Rogue? He said he left her a present, but that seemed rather improbable. Perhaps he modified an obstacle course that is already there for Rogue. Anyway, Kurt joined the gang, and predictably, Becca called him a goblin. Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, like all the kids have some tragic backstory of varying degree. Like I initially thought Sophie was speaking the way she did because of her powers, but it turns out that she has a stutter. By the way, something that will probably not bug anyone else but a Singaporean is that we are taught in English in school, except when we are in our second language class, which by default is our mother tongue. That is, if my ethnicity is Chinese, my second language is Mandarin. If my ethnicity is Malay, you'll be Malay, and if Indian, you'll be Tamil. So, given that Sophie's last name is Yong, her dad is of Chinese descent. So she would very likely not be in a class being taught in Malay. Headcanon, she took Malay as a third language because she's an overachiever. Also, not everyone in Singapore speaks Malay. So, like I said, sexy X-Men are back. Kurt joking about furries and their parties, and in NYX this week, talking about him meeting people having a skills fetish. We are going there, people. Anyway, Jitter's powers are easy to understand, but the other three, Ransom is a guy without a heart. And is he immortal? Does he have a healing factor too? Because, I mean, he was shot and thrown out of a high rise, but he is undamaged physically. So he must have one. Right. And Becca, we know she can transform Amber and herself somewhat, but is that only with Amber? Like, is Amber like a horse or something else? Also, notes that what she said regarding her background does not really match her memory. Like she said, her mother wrapped her in love, but her memory only showed her alone at mealtime. Did she actually smell the smoke, or did she burn her home down? I mean, we kind of know she viewed things very differently from most people. But the strangest one for me, though, is Hotaru. Is he constantly dying and reviving himself? Like, he also seems to be able to transform or, like he said, calls upon friends. He's not entirely alive, I think. Anyway, I think we are also potentially getting a fifth new kid, Chelsea, the halfway house owner's kid. I mean, we then end the issue with a fight between Logan and the hag, with the hag saying she is from another realm, which brings me back to the Antling prophecy. Becca is part something else, and she is or will be the last surviving one. What do you make of the last bit regarding Rogue and Logan psychic communication? I think it has to do with the hag and Becca somehow. The art is beautiful. I don't know what more I can say without sounding like a broken record. I mean, I love everything about the art, from the action scenes to talking head scenes. Most of the pages have pretty simple panel design, but there's one with like triangular panels, like splitting the four kids, forming an X. I thought that is a very nice touch. Yeah, I love the expressions of the characters and some weird close-up shots of Xavier, yeah, including one that you missed initially, that of the hag dragging her nails along the side of Xavier's neck. I love Ruth's expression when she saw and realized that Logan was leaving, and Kurt's when he was doing his swashbuckling thing with the kids in the makeshift danger room. The fight, though, between the hag and Logan is pretty vicious looking, especially the part with her nails like turning into like twisted metals as they pierced and drilled into Logan. Ugh. That is particularly impactful, as is the Hotaru ghost scenes with a like really frightened nightcrawler. I think I like this issue the most out of all three thus far. It is a 4.25 out of 5 for me. I enjoy getting to know the new kids and their powers and some of the backgrounds. And we hardly got any screen time with Dr. Alice, which is easily my least favorite part of this arc. I agree. We are right in the middle of a five-part story, and I can't wait to see how this ends. So this is a must buy. So if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Please also share this with your friends and leave us a comment.
Tyler
Tyler out.